Once you press it, it starts.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a conversation with someone and you just have not been listening, or you just catch the ending part of the conversation? Well, I'm just here to tell you that your listening skills kind of are not that good. So I've done a couple research on this and been studying this topic for quite a while and everything, and I've picked up a few pointers. So I'm just here to talk to you about different types of listening, the barriers that you face on a day-to-day basis, and just give you some pointers on to become a better listener. So I'm going to speak to you about informational listening, critical listening, and empathic listening. So informational listening is basically you're listening to learn something, like what you're doing basically right now. You listen to my speech to learn how to become a better listener. Critical listening is your goal is to analyze and evaluate what someone is saying to you. So you just break them down the whole situation. It's also very, very observational, and you need to be very skeptical of what everything that somebody is telling you. You need to question them all the time about everything. And you need to make sure they're a credible source. You need to make sure they are very trustworthy enough to make sure you can take this information and pass it along to someone else. So then on top of that, we're going to go on to the different obstacles that you face on a day-to-day basis, like noise. When you have a conversation, somebody, the TV is on, it's distracting, it's very distracting. Or if somebody else is trying to talk to you while you're talking, it's distracting. Basically, noise is anything that interferes with you becoming an effective listener. And then you have selective attention. Selective attention is very self-explanatory. It's you when you listen to what you want to hear. Somebody is speaking, and you listening to what you want to hear, and you blocking out everything, which also plays hand in hand with pseudo-listening. Pseudo-listening is you pretending to listen. It goes hand in hand because you can get in a disagreement with someone, and you only listen to certain parts that agrees with what you're saying, and you just pretend to listen to everything else. So then we move on to glazing over, the one that I am famous for. Daydreaming. You would daydream during somebody's speech, whether it's a boring movie or a boring conversation, like something that doesn't entertain you at all. Your mind would just start to wonder. And then we will go into competitive interrupting. Competitive interrupting is basically when you're talking to take control over the whole conversation. It's basically those people who always want the last word in the conversation. They want their point to be the main focus of the whole conversation. Like it's all about them. It's just no one else matters. It's all about them. So now that you can see some common barriers that you deal with on a basis that you probably didn't even know was a thing. Now we can give you a couple pointers how to become a better listener. Hey. So always face the speaker and pay attention, because it's like a sign of respect, and it shows that you are actually listening. Or even if you're not listening, like, I'm trying to listen, or I'm trying to engage and listen. And also be attentive. I know you making eye contact with somebody can be awkward, just staring at them, like don't look through their soul and try to see what's going on. Just make sure you're just looking at them and relax and just everything. And also keep an open mind when you're talking to somebody. You don't want to have a closed mind and automatically think everything they're stupid and everything. So because if you think they're stupid or what they're saying is stupid, you automatically have a closed mind only because you don't want to listen to nothing they're saying. So just by that, you're mentally criticizing someone. You want to stay away from mentally criticizing. And also, don't jump to conclusions. Everybody thought process is different. Somebody can think faster than someone, think slower than someone. So just by doing that, you jump to conclusions and you think you know what someone's going to say or how they feel or what's going on, and you don't want to do that either. You just want to be someone's shoulder to lean on, someone to listen. You just need to listen. You have to be patient with someone's feelings, emotions, everything. Basically going back to empathy. Having to sit in someone else's shoes to feel what they're feeling or what's going on and everything else. Also, you don't want to interrupt to give someone else your own solutions. Interrupting someone is very rude, and it can also give off different types of messages, like, I don't care about your opinion, or I don't want to listen to what you're saying or anything. And when it comes to your solutions, like, just don't assume somebody wants your advice, because not everybody wants your advice. If they want your advice, they'll ask for your advice. And also, pay attention to the nonverbal clues. Nonverbal communication is a very big thing. When facial expressions or the sound of someone's voice, you can tell what's going on and everything. And also, you want to ask clarifying questions. You don't ask questions about something that's not going on with the situation. You ask clarifying questions that helps you understand more, but don't interrupt the speaker. You just want to let them pause for a second, and when that pause comes, you ask the question. Because if they pause, they could have kept going and talked and answered your question before you decide to jump in and ask the question anyways. So with that being said, you realize your listening skills, the different barriers, and what you can do to become a better listener, you can take these tips and move on with life and enlighten the unenlightened. That is it.